Hey everybody, my name is Aaron Davis. I'm here at Hair Spa and Extension Academy. Today you'll learn how to do a design and taper. When I do designs, I like to take the hair down to a 2 and then create the design, and then after I'll fade around or different lengths around the 2.
So cuando él hace diseños, él primero empieza con el 2 y hace su diseño y ya después es cuando él baja los números de los diseños. So, empieza desde el 2 y ya si quieren como un estilo fade es cuando va subiendo los números, va bajando los números, perdón.
So I'm going to take them down to a 2 right now. This is the level number 2.
So él va a empezar con la guardia número 2.
I don't use these all the time with all my designs, but they're good for stenciling out your work. So the best way to use them is dabbing instead of going like this.
So en vez de usarlo como lápiz y es mejor nada más como de puntitas para que te agarre más la precisión.
So the best way to come with clean lines is to go against the hair.
So la mejor precisión que pueden tener para cuando hacen diseños en el cabello es ir en contra del cabello.
You can see the hair pattern. His hair pattern is growing down this way, and then right about here, it's starting to grow this way. That's a big thing to me. I always look at the hair pattern, the way it's growing, so I can see what way I need to cut.
So como crece el cabello es una parte tan grande que necesitan saber en qué lado está creciendo el cabello. Por ejemplo, como Jaden, su cabello le crece de lados diferentes. So él está tratando de encontrar la forma correcta para agarrar esas líneas de precisión. So él está chequeando en qué lugar le está creciendo el cabello para que agarre bien la línea.
This is just like I said, it's a rough draft. So I'm just going in there and getting my basic line, and then I can go around here and fade and clean up these lines like really detailed.
So ahorita nada más como quien dice el rough draft, nada más es para empezar. Ya después de que termine, ya va a marcar las líneas más limpias para que se mire todo el detalle del diseño que está haciendo.
The good thing about design work is like you could be creative. Of course, do what the client wants, but it's always good to throw your own creative, mind into it, and so you have both concepts come together as one.
So lo bueno de hacer diseños es que puedes tú ser creativo con lo que el cliente quiere, pero también hacer lo que ellos quieren, pero a la misma vez poner tu propio toque personal en el diseño. So puedes prácticamente hacer lo que ellos te pidan, pero también agregarle un toquecito de aquí, básicamente.
So I got like a solid foundation with these two, which I'm gonna probably throw like another one over here, but I wanted to get these two out the way to see where I'm gonna go with that pattern.
So ahorita ya tienes tu fundación básica, so lo que va a hacer es le va a tirar otro diseño. Nada más para saber exactamente qué lugar o qué extension va a ser tu próximo diseño también.
So now I'm gonna bring the lines on music notes through here.
So ahí ya le va a agregar las líneas a las notas de música.
And so when you're doing designs and you want these lines clean, you have the upper line that you need to get clean, which I'll go up like this, and then the lower line down here. So I'll flip my clipper to crisp this line out.
Are you going like straight in, or are you like moving it a little bit?
Yeah, these cut pretty well. It just depends on the clipper that you have. These will do the work itself. Sometimes you'll have to move it around. But again, when you move it around, because it's not this upper blade, it's the lower blade that's cutting, you'll widen your line out. So it's always good to come in like this and then turn it around and go upside down.
So básicamente con la máquina está bien moverlo de arriba y luego moverlo de boca abajo, porque recuerden que lo de abajo es lo que está cortando y lo de arriba es básicamente como un peinecito. también depende.
So I'm gonna come in here and do a little fade work.
So va a ser un fade nada más poquito para empezar con el resto del diseño.
It's a lot easier to cut these lines when the hair's shorter. So that's why I do the two all the way around, so I could do the design, and then after I could fade around the design and have contrast. So right now I did a open guard, or sorry, no guard closed, just to knock this down a little bit, and then as
No usó nada de guard, él nada más usó la pura máquina cerrada, nada más para quitarle lo bulto del cabello.
La cero.
Sí.
then I'll do a one closed and fade that out, but I'm not flat to the head. I'm very off the head and more focused on the hair, because I don't want to push his hair all the way up. I want to fade into that. So I'll let my wrist do the work. And then you could take clipper over comb and you could come in here, over direct, and knock down this hairline or this weight line. When you're over directing, you're getting a constant nice fade, because you're not cutting round. You're still getting some length that will give a nice fade.
What you have right now that you took out, was that a one?
That's a half.
That's half?
So I'm just, yeah, so basically what I'm doing, I'm just coming in here and prepping this down so I could come in here and fade it all around.
So nada más está preparando el cabello para que pueda hacerle el fade alrededor de los lados y ya después desvanecerlo un poquito más.
No, por eso, pero es la uno esa.
Ese es medio.
O la media.
La media.
And it's a lot of back and forth, switching guards back and forth. And that takes time. It's not going to be easy. It takes a lot of time to understand what you're doing and where to see the fade work. But also, the contrast is what's going to make this design pop out and what's going to make the fade look good all together.
So lo que él está haciendo básicamente está yéndose entre diferentes guards, nada más para que pueda tener esa precisión, y a veces usando, tiene que quitar uno y poner otro, quitar uno y poner otro, pero eso es para que lo ayude a él a tener esa precisión con el corte de cabello. Ya después, cuando termine, ya le da más chance de tener el fade más preciso para que se mire más limpio y más detallado las líneas.
So I like this weight in here. This is a 0.5 guard right here. But so then from that, you have your shortest, mid, and then open. So from there, I'm gonna close my guard with no guard on it and softly go up a little bit, about quarter of the way, open it halfway, fade that little part out, and then open all the way. So there's 3 different levels.
Hay 3 diferentes niveles, que es la cerrada, la media y la abierta. Y eso es lo que él está usando para hacer ese fade detallado. So, es lo que está haciendo ahorita. Él está moviendo la manita para cerrarlo, abrirlo y dejarlo en medias también para que pueda hacerse esa línea detallada. Pero tiene que tener mucho cuidado de no pegar la máquina tan cerquitas porque pueden trasquilarlos.
Don't mind this hair, but just right here, you see how the contrast, it's a nice soft blend. And like I said, when the hair's shorter around, you can really go in there and detail up the lines, clean them up.
So around how long do you take when you do a haircut with design and everything? Does it depend on the detail of the design?
Yeah, it depends on the detail. Everything's different. Hair's different. I have people come in with blonde hair and I try to tell them you don't want to do something crazy because it's very hard to see in their hair. But when you have bolder lines and more simple, it's easier to see. So yeah, it just depends. Like if I was to do this, if he was like a client, I wasn't explaining everything, and did a couple of music notes and a fade, it'd probably take me about 40 minutes. All right. So basically, I want to go off of this line and come bring it through. So I'm gonna come right here, act like I'm cutting it, you know, cut it, and then just directly over, follow through. I'm really like OCD about my lines matching up and everything, and that's what makes it look really clean and detailed.
So I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I started practicing on mannequins. Were you doing design work on mannequins? Did you just-
Never.
Really?
Yeah. It's just not the same.
So what?
Honestly, I would say got brothers, husband, kids, do it in real life. Just start with like simple lines. Just, you know, just do a nice curved line. Start doing that. Then after that, do a curved line with a zigzag and into another line. That's how I started. I just started doing really simple things, getting comfortable with my clippers, getting comfortable with the pattern of the hair, the way it grows. Everybody's hair grows different. Everybody's texture is different. You know, the contrast will be different. So after you do it multiple times on different types of hair and, you know, races, it's just you start to see the difference and what, you know, different ways, different patterns. So I'm gonna actually just keep these two music notes, and I'm gonna go into something simple, so I can show you guys something simple. This design to go in something simple and onto the other side. So you got the lines coming. I'm gonna match these up and then branch down and come off here. And that's what I'm saying. That's the cool thing about designs. Like, I was gonna keep doing more music notes, but I was like, okay, let's show them something more simple, and I'll branch off into doing a simple design over on this side. But practice on your family, practice on your kids, practice on your husband. Hair grows back. That's the good thing about it. You can mess up and it will grow back. So do it on your loved ones that no matter what, they'll still love you.
So básicamente le pregunté que cuál sería el mejor tip para darles a ustedes si quieren empezar a hacer diseños en el cabello. Y él básicamente dijo que practiquen en sus hijos, en su esposo, en su perrito.
And see how I literally just use the edge of my clipper and just come out and follow that pattern. So right now, I don't even know where I'm gonna go with the design. So I can, you know, come in and, you know, mess with my pinky and see where it look good.
So él ahorita no sabe qué va a hacer con el diseño, so él está pensando y está viendo a ver qué puede hacer con el diseño del otro lado.
So I got these two lines. Now I gotta find a creative way to connect them.
So ya que tiene sus dos líneas, va a encontrar una forma creativa para conectar esas dos líneas.
See right there? You got a cool little design right there.
Hair on my ear.
Oh, I'm sorry. And still, this is still all just a rough draft. This is me just prepping for me to cut this all lower, fade out the lines, and whatever I'm gonna do.
So él nada más apenas está preparando él, apenas es el comienzo, ya después de ahí le va a poner más detalle.
But I wanted to show you guys a simple design like that. So say if that was by itself. That's, you know, it's all just one line. Simple, easy.
So nada más si hace nada más un diseño, es nada más una línea súper fácil y todavía se mira bien.
All right, now this is the fun part, the fading.
So esta es la parte favorita que es el fading.
So we're gonna take him real short back here so it's nice and clean. I don't have to worry about lining him up because he's receding in the back a little bit. has a bunch of little points. So we're gonna knock that out so we don't have to worry about lining it up and seeing those points. Okay, look down. No guard, closed, skin.
So él no está haciendo guardia, es todo cerrado, para que se necesite un poquito más su cuero cabelludo.
We're gonna open mid.
Lo va a abrir en medio.
See that? Can everybody see that? Softly fade out about a 1/4 inch up.
Media pulgada, vamos a empezar a hacer el fade hacia arriba.
Then we're gonna open fully all the way.
Y lo va a abrir completamente. Y va a empezar a desvanecer lo rojo.
Go another 1/4 inch up. Then we're gonna half guard, 0.5.
Va a usar este medio guard, 0.5.
Closed on the I don't know, I can't even think the name of this thing right here. The lever, whatever.
Toda la manita lo hace cerrado.
And you could go probably about 1/2 inch up. Depends on, you know, the contrast that you want to make for yourself.
Depende del contraste que quieran ustedes, pueden usar el
And I'm gonna come back, and this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you gotta come back in and fade out a little bit, and you have to remember what length you're using. And that all takes time and practice. But you'll get there. Everybody will get there and eventually figure it out. The biggest thing for me is to know your clippers, that there's 3 steps on your teeth. And that's the biggest important thing to me, is because you don't have to always switch guards out. You can just close all the way, open medium, and then fully. And that will give you a nice fade itself sometimes.
So a veces si vas a ocupar tu guardia, nada más puedes usar el abierto cerrado o el medio para darte ese fade preciso, pero eso obviamente toma tiempo y la práctica.
And see how his hair, his pattern of hair, it's coming down and it's coming out or in. So it's very important to see the hair growth, the pattern of it. And not, no, you're good.
Es súper importante de que también miren en qué lado saques tu cabello para así también darle el corte preciso.
So then I'll fade against the hair growth, the pattern. I don't want to come in and go against it sideways. I want to go with it, towards it.
So lo que él está haciendo es, como el cabello está creciendo de un lado, está yendo contra el cabello para que pueda cortarlo más y tenga más precisión.
Now watch this. With this little line, we're gonna make this pop out so much more with the fading. Close guard.
Van a poder ver la línea más positiva y luego va a cerrarlo.
Gonna open it halfway. Full. Half guard. And I'm not flush on the head. I'm more out. So I'm using my wrist to do the fade work itself, letting the clippers do the work.
Al igual él no está poniendo toda la máquina en contra de la cabeza, nada más está haciendo como quien dice, nada más la puntita para poder desvanecer el cabello.
But see how that little bit of fade just makes the contrast pop way more. Look down.
That looks really good.
See what I'm saying? And I think that's the coolest thing about designs and fades with it, is it gives its own little, you know, kind of like a story. You know what I mean? It's crazy that the contrast helps pop out everything.
A veces con un poquito de fading pueden ayudar bastante con el contraste del diseño y y lo hace ver más detallado.
So you could start with a lower or a higher guard and then work it down to lower. There's some people that fade from high to low. Me personally, I go from low to high. But if you're scared, that's a lot with a lot of Cosmos, they're scared to take it so short because they can't get that line out. But if you start from high and work it down lower, that will help you feel more confident, and then you're most likely not to go so short because you're seeing the transformation going from high to low. Always start higher because you could take more hair off. You can never put back hair. So start higher. And not everybody knows the lengths of a number 2 and a number 3. So it's always best to start higher and work them down, especially if you never cut their hair before. Because you don't want to get a client then them not come back, you know. Just tell them, be like, hey, you know, me personally, I've never cut your hair, so I'm gonna start you higher than, and if you don't like it, we'll go shorter. And then they feel more comfortable, like, okay, you know what you're doing. So when I do fading techniques and stuff like this, I'll try to skip. So like I got this part real low, as you can see. This part's real low. This will be longer. So I'm gonna fade out this one this way. Pretty much the same thing that I did on here. So that the design's starting to come more alive. It's popping more. So then I'm going to come in right here in this area and fade this part up. So it's opposite. So it's long right here, short over here. Short over here, long up here. Does that make sense? So that's how you're getting your contrast. It's kind of like coloring. You know, say if you're using a Sharpie, you want it real dark, and you're gonna do a solid color and then flick out, and it'll give it that fade.
What you're doing at the neckline, would that be considered like a classic taper too?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm keeping that taper look. I'm not fading all the way out just to get that contrast. You always want to double check your work. I always throw a product in it just to see how it lays. Let's see how I went back over and redid the lineup. You're gonna have little baby hairs. Right here it's a little heavy. Come in, knock that down.
So lo que a él le gusta hacer es ir para atrás y chequear el corte. Aunque piense que a lo mejor lo hace terminado, es súper importante siempre chequear otra vez los detallitos chiquitos. Por ejemplo, ahorita le puso el pomade en su cabeza y los pelitos chiquitos que tiene alrededor le volvieron a bajar. So él va y chequea de nuevo y le corta para tener esa precisión.
You guys learn something? Oh boy, we're back at it again.
Do you like it, Jaden?
Yeah, because I can't see.
Oh, okay.
I won't see it.
Hey everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys have any more information or want to contact me to come to your beauty school, barbershop, salon, at me at mryouknow.com or contact me through creativestylesstudio@gmail.com.